Welcome back to the video, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Today we're back in the RSX and we're gonna go see what this light is all about. As you guys saw in my previous video, I got a check engine light. So now I'm just going to go get this car scanned real quick and hopefully we can fix it today. And yes, it is over 100 degrees and the shifter is very hot and I don't even know how I'll be able to shift it. I'm probably just gonna do this. And the steering wheel is extremely hot too. We're not gonna push this car too much just because of the check engine light, but goddamn, the car actually sounds pretty good. I'm kind of suspecting that the check engine light could be from the spark plugs. I did change the spark plugs about a month ago, and after that I didn't even drive the car. Real quick to connect this. Hopefully we can read what it is. There you go. Okay, so the code comes up for this IAC, which is an idle air control valve, something that controls the throttle body apparently, and it helps the plates to move up and down, as it says right here. I'm not going to read all of it, but I searched the part online and it's not too expensive. It was about 30-40 bucks, and it makes sense because I always noticed that my car idles very high. It's supposed to be in the 700-800 RPM, but it doesn't. It usually stays at 1000 or even over 1000. Before I replace the entire part, I have WD-40 at home and I'm probably gonna use that to try cleaning this actuator and see if that actually solves this problem. Most likely it might. But if the part is bad and it's not working properly mechanically, I'm gonna have to replace it. And I don't think it's too hard to fix. I think it goes right next to the throttle body if I'm not wrong. Car's idling at 1200 RPM. Great. We made it back home and the idle air control valve is actually below this throttle body. You guys can see this is the throttle body right here. We're gonna wait until the engine cools down because it is a lot safer. To get there, you have to remove the throttle body, and the throttle body is connected to 2 coolant hoses. And right now the engine is actually hot, so we're not gonna do that. Right now, if I take it off, the coolant is gonna bust open. Okay, a few hours later, I have decided to move this car outside because I am not gonna stand in the 100 degrees heat while I work on that car. Okay, the car is back in the garage, but sadly it's warmed up, so I'm gonna have to wait for another few hours. Actually, instead of waiting for a few hours for the car to cool down, I'm probably gonna start with taking this air intake off, so in that way the car can be ready when I do take the throttle body out. Okay, first things first, we're gonna take these 2 clips out. There's one right here and the other one is up here. And after taking that off, we're pretty much gonna get rid of this air intake. But if you want to completely remove it, take this part off. In our case, I'm not really removing this air intake. I'm make sure it gets out of the way when I do take the throttle body off. So I don't think I gotta remove all of it. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. There we go. And I also forgot that we have to take these 2 bolts out that holds this bracket onto the throttle body. I'm gonna try it with a flathead screwdriver, try to see if this thing comes off. I'm just gonna try pulling this off now. Okay, it is moving. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's not enough space, so I might have to just take these off as well, so that I can completely remove it so that I can get in there. It's just opening up a little. Alright, so we got the air intake removed, but taking these 2 out, and this one was pretty hard to take out, but luckily use this to just take it off, and luckily the car is kind of hot so that these tubes are kind of more flexible than if it was cold. So I got the throttle body out of this way. Pretty much we're gonna wait now because there are screws down there underneath below this throttle body that I have to remove. This thing is extremely hot, so we're not gonna do it right now. And the coolant hoses that are right here, that's gonna be extremely hot too. Okay, so it's been a few hours and let's hope that this car has cooled down now, and let's just take the throttle body off. Okay, to take off the throttle body, it seems that it is a bolt right there and a nut that's on this side, which is super weird, but I think there must be a few bolts on the bottom too. I'm probably gonna put my hand in there, but let me take these two out and then we'll look on the bottom. Okay, I might as well just take this air intake off just because the bolts underneath there are pretty hard to get with this thing coming in the way. The only thing that's holding this in is this bolt. Okay, so that is out, and that actually seems like a pretty nice intake too. Like, it doesn't seem like those cheap ones. I don't know, I didn't really do research about it, but now these bolts are much easier to access, and that's the throttle body. And I think the idle air control is underneath it, which is down here. Okay, 2 bolts, 1 nut is out, and only thing that I need is the 1 nut that's on the bottom right there. That's probably gonna be the hardest to get, because even this nut was so hard just because there's not much room to even like spin it. We'll try getting it out. And with this weather, I'm like sweating. I'm trying to work on this car with over 100 degrees, and I have work in 30 minutes, so I'm gonna try doing as much as I can, and then I'll probably come tomorrow and then we'll probably finish this off. Okay, this is me from the future, and after work I started thinking that if I was going to take off the throttle body, why not just replace the entire part? Why not just get a bigger throttle body like I always wanted to? In this case, this is a perfect chance to replace most of the stock parts that I currently have and add mods to the car that I always wanted. This includes me doing full bolt-ons to the car. I already have a skunk to exhaust and a decent air intake. The only bolt-ons left are an intake manifold and a bigger throttle body. From this clip that I am doing a voiceover of, y'all can see that I have basically removed everything that is on the throttle body, which is all the bolts, vacuum lines, throttle cables, all the plugs and the harnesses, and the throttle body was the next step to just take off. It would have been easy, but now I chose to wait until all the mods come in and I can put all of them in together. Okay, as you guys saw in the previous clip, I have decided to wait until I get all these parts. I am going to place an order on all of them. As you guys saw, it's all back together. I put the intake back in and I have connected the throttle body back. Okay, one thing that I messed up while I was putting everything back on was this little wire right here and this connector. I don't even know what this is for. I was trying to put it back in and then I just yanked it out so hard that it snapped off from there. It's just in between there. So I actually don't even know what this is. I believe it might be the evap, but I'm not sure. So I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of research and definitely hunting for that certain part. And I also noticed while I was checking these coil packs, I saw this one was completely out. It's not even bolted in right now. I'm actually surprised that this bolt is not throwing a misfire code, because this coil pack is not even bolted down, meaning that the spark plug is not even in correctly. So with that and with this, makes me not want to drive the car until all those small little things are fixed. All of you guys that made it through this part, the build is starting up and I'm pretty excited. We're gonna put bolt-ons, we're gonna tune this car, we're gonna do ethanol, we might do a turbocharger. Who knows? This car is gonna be a one badass RSX.